Welcome back to The Real Story. In a Colorado courtroom, the movie theater massacre trial continues now. The ex-girlfriend of defendant James Holmes taking the stand, detailing the time she spent with a man who would later confess to slaughtering 12 people.
We went to a film festival in Denver.
What kind of film festival?
A horror film festival.
That's romantic. Did you do anything else before or after?
We grabbed dinner at some point. I do not remember if it was before or after.
Dan Schorr is a former prosecutor and associate managing director at Kroll. Well, that's eerie. The former girlfriend of Holmes says that on the first date, they go to a horror flick. What do we learn about that?
Well, I think there's two major takeaways here. One is that he seems to have normal interaction with her to a certain extent, not someone who's insane. And second of all, he sent messages to her, according to the prosecution, that he had thoughts about killing people. So this was something that was in his head for a while. That goes against the insanity claim because it shows that this was a really thought out crime. And there's so much other evidence also showing it was thought out over time.
Okay. Want to move on to the new details in the D.C. quadruple murder search warrant revealing what investigators saw and found when they entered the victim's home last month. The report says, quote, an unknown individual who was receiving CPR was transported to a local hospital. We know now, after that quote, that victim was the family's housekeeper. She was later pronounced dead. So the warrant also reveals a, quote, baseball bat with what appeared to be blood on it was found in one of the bedrooms. So, Dan, we're learning more and more about this evidence. Eerie, again, from one case to the next.
Right. And first of all, it shows what we already knew, just how brutal this was, that there was this bat with blood on it. Now, obviously, the blood is probably going to be from one or more victims, but when there's a violent confrontation, there might be DNA from one of the perpetrators. Remember, law enforcement has one person under arrest, but they're saying there might be others involved. So hopefully, if that's true, there will be DNA from somebody else.
What does it say to you that the baseball bat is the weapon of choice, that it was not a firearm? Does that say anything to you about premeditation or not?
I don't know about premeditation, but usually if there's a brutal offense really causing pain, and this is certainly a painful death, that there's some kind of personal animosity going on or some kind of attempt to get someone to do something in return to stopping the pain. This is not just a clean, I want to kill someone. This is a simple way to do it. This is really brutal and vicious. So there's probably a more personal story here than just clearly, I want to kill these people.
And he also set them on fire. So I'm sure the autopsy will show whether or not they were dead or not before that happened, but it's a gruesome, gruesome crime. Dan Schorr, thanks so much.